This was my goal physique when I first started. But here I was looking like this.
Check out the definition of this body. Oh my gosh.
Zoom forward to 2022. In just over a year, I'd went from skinny fat to much closer to my dream body. Now, I don't know the circumstances that led you to being skinny fat. Maybe you eat healthily, but the occasional takeaway has caused your weight to creep up. Perhaps you're recovering from health problems, or you just popped out the womb like it. Regardless, I can sympathize. I've been skinny, fat, and skinny fat. After numerous books, various diet methods, programs, and supplements, I promise you, you don't need to resort to biological loopholes opened by scientists in China to do this. So here I want to share everything that worked for me. The video will be divided into 5 parts. If you follow this advice, I guarantee you'll get out of the skinny fat stage without being mugged off. Early 2021. This is the first time I tried to properly record myself. I'm just looking at myself in the camera like, this guy should not have a fitness channel. I had some pretty scary nerve damage where sleep was difficult, let alone exercise, and it wasn't showing many signs of improvement, so I decided to stick with faceless content. Then, something interesting happened.
For the gradual lifting of the lockdown in England.
Businesses are starting to reopen and children are heading back to school as lockdown conditions are being rolled back.
Lockdown was lifted and things started to get better. I had the idea to achieve the best possible body transformation in a year, taking daily photos. And what happened next, I still find crazy. My face transformed, clothes fit better, and I continued to enjoy all of the things that I love. So here's my advice on how to go from skinny fat to more aesthetic as quickly as possible in a sustainable and natural way. There's 3 phases to choose from: a bulk, cut, or recomposition phase, where you try and lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. For bulking, you consume more calories than you burn. For recomposition, you eat around maintenance, and for cutting, you consume less calories than you burn. I recomp for 3 months, which is good for detrained people and beginners. It's also the easiest to stick to for most, but doesn't result in the greatest visual differences. Then a 5-month bulk, and finally a 4 and a bit month cutting phase. Good fitness YouTubers can help you decide. The most important thing is adherence. Just pick a phase and stick to it. For people with more fat, especially if you store it around your waist like myself, the cutting phase is going to make the greatest visual differences the fastest. Losing love handles is also the hardest thing for most, which is why it'll be the focus of this video. I love food. I used to think this guy was the coolest person alive. This is one of the reasons I partake in fitness. It allows me to enjoy food more. But as a teenager, I tried to follow bodybuilder contest prep diets and a ton of others, so I don't recommend this. This time, I didn't follow a diet, ate mostly what I wanted, because all fat loss diets work in the same way. Those who try to claim otherwise are often just trying to sell their book or magic potion. Step 1, make sure you're in a calorie deficit. Step 2, make sure you're getting sufficient protein. And step 3, make sure you're getting sufficient fat. Use a calorie calculator to estimate your maintenance calories, subtract around 500 calories, and there's your budget. To lose around a pound of fat, you need a deficit of around 3,500 calories. Now, use MyFitnessPal or a calorie tracker to track your macronutrients each day. Now, this can be monotonous, but I encourage you to do this for at least a couple of months, by which point you're in a much better position to either keep tracking or to eat more intuitively. As for choosing food, which is easier to eat? 4 donuts or 250 strawberries? Unless you're deranged or just allergic. Obviously the donuts. Same calories, but not as filling. Ways to make a meal more helpful for fat loss include adding fiber, adding higher volume foods, using less heavily processed foods, and making higher protein meals. I'll give you my 5 favourite recipes in the description, but as a busy person, you might not have time to cook elaborate meals. Personally, I just end up eating the ingredients as I go.
Perfect.
So consider meals which are quick to prepare, so you make it as easy as possible. One of my favourites is fluff. It's high protein, volume, and fibre. As for supplements, there's plenty out there, but the main ones may be worth your money: a protein, creatine, and caffeine. This isn't sponsored, but I mostly use my protein because it's both got a good price and decent quality. Resistance training is the best way to improve your proportions. Without this and a calorie deficit, you're likely to lose muscle mass unnecessarily. Powerlifting, power building, CrossFit, or whatever this is, personal preference is the most important, so pick something you can stick to. If your goal is to maximize aesthetic improvements, I recommend bodybuilding style training. You need to ensure you're achieving progressive overload, so maintain full range of motion form and push it hard, progressing on weight or reps over time. You simply cannot outscience effort. Now, as impressive as all of those weirdly oily muscle jigglers are on TikTok, these one-off workouts aren't going to cut it. They'll even tell you this. So you should follow a solid workout plan. Here's a decent one if you don't have a gym, and here's a decent one if you do have a gym. Now, use one of these apps to track your sessions. It's a common misunderstanding that when you want to lose fat, it's Rocky montage time. Unfortunately, most overestimate how effective cardio is for calorie burning, and too much can interfere with resistance training. So cardio could be used as a helpful tool, but not the main way to achieve a calorie deficit. Something to consider before this is increasing your daily step count. This is relatively easy to do for most people. If you do enjoy cardio, or want the health benefits, then a few sessions a week is great. As for the best type, the one you can enjoy the most, then also consider the recovery cost, because getting lamped in the face is not optimal before a gym session. Sleep helps you manage appetite, increase energy, and manage emotions to make better decisions. It's one of the most overlooked yet most important areas for getting out of the skinny fat stage, so you should probably do it. If you want the world's leading elite sports sleep coach's approach to optimize your sleep, then watch this video. These areas are great, but I've seen too many people get excited, try to optimize everything for a week and fail. All the while, the person doing okay makes more progress because consistency beats intensity here. So you need to focus on increasing your chances of sticking to the fundamentals. This comes down to a few things. The most important is a strong why for getting in shape. As long as it's not illegal, I'm not going to judge your goal. The most important thing is that it's clear. Next is habit formation. Unfortunately, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So you need to work on strengthening good habits and weakening bad habits. For help with this, consider the book Atomic Habits, or just read the free article in the description. After this, we have identity. The self-image is the key to personality and human behavior. Change the self-image, and you change the personality and the behavior. If you see people who go to the gym as narcissistic or value everything else over your health, then you're very unlikely to stick to these things. So shift your identity to see yourself as someone that is fit. This will be confirmed with each and every time you go to the gym and eat well. For the first year, I remember watching Arnold for an hour before most sessions. Today, it's more inconvenient for me to skip the gym, so please trust the process. Now, you may have tons of insecurities and questions. The solution is not hacks and magic supplements, but trusting in the process and patience. I used to be annoyed that I was built like Mike Wazowski, but the fundamentals applied over time has changed that. Many factors in the modern world are making it easier than ever to default to a skinny fat physique, so internalizing this info is more crucial than ever before for a positive instead of negative trajectory. Here's a bird's eye view of everything which matters. Nail it and you'll get out of the skinny fat stage very quickly. Stick to this for 3 months and I doubt you'll regret it. My mission is to help people with this through investigative stories, transformative stories, and positive mentors. Because natural fitness shouldn't be a niche. It's in most people's best interest. Improving physical health isn't a trivial thing. If done right, it can enhance every other aspect of your life without becoming your life, and visual differences are a great reason to start. Now, if you're a skinny fat guy and you'd like this information covered in more depth, I recently created a workshop where we do exactly that. Now, what we do here is we firstly cover the fundamentals, and then we give you a solid roadmap to follow after. Because I don't want you hopping from program to program like I did, where you're not actually learning anything. Basically, this is exactly what I needed when I first started. Now, full transparency, according to my English teacher, I'm not the best at reading off a teleprompter, using fancy hand movements and marketing talk. But I genuinely care about this product. I've put all of my savings into making it because I genuinely think it can help a lot of you. Now, if we do actually manage to make a profit, this will all be going back into the YouTube channel to make more documentaries, because I do actually have 10 lined up to make, but I need a team to help with this, to at least speed up the process, because my upload schedule isn't the best.
Fucking obnoxious audacity.
If for whatever reason you have a problem with the workshop or you just don't like it, let me know the reason and I'll give you your money back. I genuinely want to be helping you here, whether that's with this video or the workshop itself. Now, when you do get out the skinny fat stage, firstly, congrats. Secondly, it doesn't make you better than other people. This guy can still knock you out. And how you look does not determine your worth. The next documentary style video is by far the most requested. So I'm gonna get to work and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.